Hola.
Right now. Hello.
What's happening out there? What, people, I guess?
Listening people, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I guess this could... It lives on the internet. I don't know how long the internet will be around.
That's what I was saying the other day, yeah.
But, I mean, you could be listening to this at any point in time. This might be... This is like an audio time capsule, because this is 2021 right now.
It is. Do you want to do another guess as to when some random person is going to hear this for the first time? You did that last week, I think.
November 8th, 2022.
22?
Yeah, we're getting closer.
Right.
I want results. I don't want to be patient.
Yeah, Jesus.
I want results.
That's coming up. We are starting a cult. That's Grant Up Jake.
That is very true. That's who we are. We do this show all the time. This is our...
It's our livelihood.
12th or 13th episode, something like that.
Something like that. We never know. We never know when we're recording it.
Yeah, I mean, I know how that some shows like keep track of their numbers. We do, but not for any reason other than just so we have a visual of how many we've done.
It makes us feel good, like we've done something.
And the reason we don't label it is because it really does not matter what order you listen to these in.
Yeah, we're just gonna do it every Friday.
We're not. We're more of an anthological series.
There you go.
I don't know if that's a word either.
I don't know.
I tend to make up a lot of words on this show.
Nothing's simple.
If you're out there, we're doing some community outreach, and by that I mean we want to talk to Shaquille O'Neal. So if you guys know him,
someone's gonna hook us up with one of these people we ask for one of these days.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want to push him. Let Shaq know that we're talking about him and we want him. We want him on the show. We want to have some fun with Shaq for some reason.
Why do I feel like Shaq is more attainable as a guest than OJ?
He a billion% of the way he is. No, we would love to talk to Shaq. So somebody out there, help us get the hookup with that. That'd be so much fun.
We have immediate stuff to talk about. I'm pretty sure on our Bigfoot episodes we talked about his penis for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he'd necessarily give us those answers. I know that's a little intimate, but
he's a cool guy. I mean, I'm sure he'd say it in any case, like, off
I think
mic.
he'd give us a ballpark. You know? He'd give us a ballpark on what his Johnson looks like.
You'd say something like, ambiguous, like, look how big I am.
Yeah,
and then that would be it. Like, that would,
But yeah, I think it'd be fun. We could, I don't know what we'd talk about, but I'm sure he's interested in something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everybody, let's get some Shaq action, Shaq attack on the show.
Shaction.
Yeah, we just start. As a matter of fact, I mean, obviously we want Shaq. That's number one. That's like the main.
But
goal.
we also, we got to talk about fucking Chernobyl again.
Oh, I was gonna talk about the celebrities. I want every celebrity in the world to be made aware of our show.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
But Shaq is the number one. He's the big fish that we want.
All right. So it's Shaq, OJ,
Ellen DeGeneres,
Bill Schnoblin,
Chills. Conan. How about that?
Conan seems fine.
Maybe Shoe Nice. That'd be cool.
No, I don't want that guy anywhere near me.
Really? Then I wouldn't want him near me.
No, yeah, he's not coming to this house.
No, verbally he could be close, but not physically.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. We want to see what celebrity out there will actually take the time to like speak to us.
See the highest ranking celebrity.
And the good news is, we don't really care about celebrities, so it's not like we're gonna get some starstruck interview. It's quite frankly,
you can't claim we don't care about them. We're like asking them.
Oh, I don't mean it like that, but I mean like we're not gonna be like so. What's your favorite color? It's just like we're just gonna have a conversation with these people.
We just get Sir Paul McCartney or some shit.
That'd be cool. I'd ask him why he went vegan because I don't want to know what. I mean,
being the Beatles.
Were any of the Beatles like douchebags? Because I feel like they might have been.
It's like all of them, all of us. Me too.
How many times have you done coke off a stripper's ass? A couple
I can
times.
count it on all of our hands.
But yeah, so I don't know why I don't even know why I'm bringing all this up. I just think it'd be fun.
I mean, it's good to get it all out there.
My thought is if we put this out there enough, it will work.
No, at some point, yeah, it could be our thing.
There will be a day where we get some and by the term celebrity, I mean pretty much it could be a local celebrity for all
we have the Winter Olympics third place medalist in this sport you never heard of. Like that would work.
I'd be like I have a lot of questions that cover a lot of different areas of life, and I feel like we have to start somewhere by talking to people that do it openly and for the public. So
I think the first question we should ask all of them, if they ever contact us, is who's the most famous person you know?
Can you put me in contact with it?
Can I see your phone?
The first question
Unlock it, please.
Will always be, and forever be, at least for me, will be, what are your thoughts on Bigfoot? That will always be the number one question. I feel like that it's a simple weeding out process, and it really, really makes life a little bit better.
Depending on their answer to that, we could either phrase it, who is the most famous person you know, or if it's negative, it's something we don't like, we could just be like, you know what? Could you put us in contact with someone who's famous?
Yeah.
You know, it's the little things that'll get under their skin.
Yeah, I feel like we're the right people to talk to celebrities because we're nobodies. I never trust interviews when they get interviewed by celebrities. Like, even back in the day, like when Barbara Walters would interview people, it's like she's just as big of a celebrity as the celebrity. So who trusts this interview? You can trust us because we're nobody. We shop at Home Depot, for Christ's sake. Okay,
you understand? I don't matter.
I eat McDonald's like at least 5 times a month.
We're probably gonna have it today.
So I mean, like we're your average Joe citizens, and that's perfect for these people because when's the last time Shaq just got to powwow with a guy who just plays Xbox? Probably not.
You know what? I have no idea.
But with all that being said,
yeah, that was our case. Celebrities. It's startacult@gmail.com.
Yeah, check us out.
Yeah, why not?
We're fun people.
You know, whoever you are.
We'll always reply. I'll tell you that. We'll always reply. I'm not going to not reply. But we are wrapping up the little mini Chernobylus series.
Chernobyl.
Last week we kind of went over the nitty-gritty, the actual details. And kudos to you guys for sticking to it because I do realize that, especially for our show and like our audience, that is not typically something we do.
Try to explain nuclear reactors and how they work.
Yeah, we really do not do that often. So definitely appreciate you guys checking that one out. Today we're going back to formula. Okay, we're gonna have. It's a powwow of episodes. We just have
small little tidbits about stuff.
Yeah, strange
revolving,
facts, weird potential,
Chernobyl. Maybe
some theories. We have a nice Birdman / Mothman tale.
Oh, it's so good.
We got so we're back to standard. We are starting a cult formula. Yeah. So do not.
That being
fret.
said, you want to go first? You want to do rapid fire back forth? What do you want to do here?
I say we go together because the first thing I want to
talking over each other at the same time.
I want to tell the story together. No,
You say a word, I say a word.
I think the best place to start would be with the Mothman Birdman sightings.
Oh, you got to
because it's previous to and after the incident, so it's perfect for everything we're trying to encompass in one goal.
So you just saying "and after" makes me question my own notes. It's good that we come together and do these things.
No, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, there was a thing called the Blackbird of Chernobyl.
Oh yeah.
Many residents in the area surrounding Chernobyl's nuclear power plant claim to have seen a large winged black figure with red eyes in the days and weeks leading up to the disaster. Isn't that crazy? Kind of sounds like the fucking Mothman.
Yeah.
Kind of
really
sounds
does.
exactly like it. And just like the Mothman, sightings were reported all the way up into the major disaster in the area, which, was Chernobyl.
Yeah, and the thing that caught my attention about the Blackbird of Chernobyl was that it has some slight differences to the Mothman because certain sighting reports of these, one of them, the weirdest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
they described it as a headless man with a 20-foot wingspan. And that, first off, I was very confused.
It's like combining things. I don't know, like a Sleepy Hollow sort of aspect here.
But yeah, so people claim, no joke, they claimed that they saw a headless flying Birdman person, and they were just like, yeah, I just saw it. It was
They're
weird.
like, you know what? That's crazy.
And another thing that is slightly off of Mothman, I mean, this may have happened, but it's not something I'm particularly familiar with dealing with Mothman. A lot of the people that had these sightings previous to the incident, I guess we'll call it,
A disaster.
they were left with horrible nightmares and just ungodly amounts of stress for no reason.
Well, I would be a little stressed if I saw a headless man with a 20-foot wingspan soaring through the sky. Are you shitting me?
Right? And on a couple instances, there were people that got extremely threatening phone calls after they had witnessed this.
It's sort of like
thing.
like a Men in Black sort of thing suspected here? Or what is it?
I mean, that's kind of where I
What was it like? Like, I'm looking at you right now, like that kind of thing? What is it? It's like I see you through your window. Nice hat.
I tried to sift through the internet. Now, I found one. It was deep on Reddit. Like, very deep. Like, I had to scour Reddit.
76 pages in on Reddit.
So it was not particularly easy to find, and I can no way confirm that this is true. But somebody said that their mother was one of the people that was called.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't extremely threatening. It was more just very specific questions. And what did you see? Where were you? What happened?
See, that sounds like the Men in Black to me.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, so they say threatening. If we're going to take this guy's word for it, which for the purposes of our conversation, I'm going to. I'm going to take this as fact.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Yeah, it's very inquisitive questions. Things like, what did you see? Kind of in a roundabout way. Did you have any side effects? Like, what happened to you? Did you have any nightmares? Did you have any fever dreams? Any sweats? Late night meat sweats?
Late night meat sweats. That should be the title. Mm-hmm. Yeah, why not?
But yeah, so that, to me, that's a little bit different than the Mothman. Now, I know it is weird because more people, I would say, are familiar with the Mothman, but the way they make this Chernobyl Blackbird sound is that there were hundreds of people that had seen it.
Yeah, dude, just like in Point Pleasant. Like, I know it's been said that that the Mothman specifically could be like a harbinger of doom. Like, that's why it disappeared, like, right after the collapse of that bridge in Point Pleasant. That's why it disappeared after Chernobyl happened. Did it disappear? Were there sightings afterward? That's what I was wondering earlier.
I've come across a couple things, and they're very, very short snippets of things.
Okay.
And mostly they say that, now this could all be a lie, just to be safe. Cover our bases
That
here.
should just be what you come in thinking to this podcast. It's like, no, all of this could be just wrong.
Yeah, think of that. Think of all the time.
Think about this.
There were people that said they had spotted it flying above Reactor 4, kind of in that area.
That sounds good.
During and immediately after, like, the cleanup part of the event.
Holy shit.
And then again in the 90s, when they reopened the sarcophagus of Reactor 4 and to put the new one on, there were supposedly more sightings of the Chernobyl Blackbird. Now,
that's pretty creepy, man. I mean, dude, what does that say about the Mothman of the U.S. that he's been sighted in Chicago? Are we going to be, is there something going to happen?
I was wondering
what's going to
about that.
happen here?
Now, what I think is weird is there seems to be, we'll put a cap on about a year. There's typically, you get about a year's worth of sightings, give or take, maybe 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And then this event happens. It happened in West Virginia. It happened in Chernobyl. Well, I guess Pripyat, but, for the purposes of the story, it's Chernobyl.
Yeah, it's kind of like the story of Roswell. It took place in like a nowhere
Yeah,
town.
the subsidiary
Yeah,
town.
and like Roswell just had a police station.
Right, it's kind of like how like Al Capone had that house in like Cal City, Illinois, but it's close to Chicago, so it's like, yeah, you
It's
lived
like
in Chicago.
you lived in Chicago. That's like everyone from where we live.
Yeah, like,
I'm
we
from
live in Chicago.
Chicago. It's like I'm from a suburb in Indiana.
Yeah, you don't live in Chicago, but you know.
Anyway, it's like all those things.
But so I feel as if either maybe the Chicago Mothman is breaking the bonds of the situation. Maybe he's adding some excitement to our lives, or it's leading to the worst catastrophe that he's ever been a part of.
Since the Chicago fire. I don't know.
Talking about it's going to decimate the land.
It could
maybe.
be that. I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe it's because he hasn't been like cited very frequently, and I feel like in the places where it's like all led up to a disaster, it's been like super frequent, like hundreds of people. The stories we're hearing out of Chicago are like, 3 or 4 people saw it one night, and then 9 months later, someone else saw it.
Yeah,
it's like it's not so frequent and like in mass numbers.
They're definitely not.
So maybe he's ramping.
They're not as potent, I guess, as other areas where it's like it's a week and at least 15 people have seen him. It's very back and forth. But I mean, you also have to take into account, and I don't necessarily know if this is a fair assessment, but I'm going to say it for the purposes of this show. I am in no way a city slicker, if that makes sense.
You don't think?
I'm a lot more familiar with the city than I am with the country. Just because of where we live geographically and kind of how life has
and where we went
taken
to school
us.
and all that, yeah.
But I do know that when I go from one extreme to the other, either going from, let's say, a vacation out in the sticks somewhere to a weekend downtown, there are a lot of adjustments that you kind of have to make.
Yeah.
Because life is very, very different in these areas. And I guess the question I'm raising here is, are these people that are seeing Mothman in downtown Chicago, are these people born and raised in downtown Chicago? Because I think that would raise a big question.
That is a good point. I feel like it's a lot of it's around O'Hare, which is alarming. But
that's scary.
A lot of it's like people that work at O'Hare, so it's not even necessarily in Chicago. It's just in the Chicago area.
Right.
So I don't know, man.
Because I guess my question is this. I mean, maybe this is sad on my part, but I did not realize that massive birds are a very common thing in a lot of parts of the country.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe not necessarily 25-foot wingspan birds.
Yeah, not like thunderbirds or whatever.
But very large. The first time I ever saw one, I was probably maybe 10 years old, and it was this giant turkey buzzard. And this thing was enormous. Like, it was freaking me out.
Yeah, it was like
enormous.
eye level with you.
Enormous. Like, this thing could probably pick up a smart car with no issue.
Well, a lot of things could pick up smart cars.
So I guess the question I have is that if these people are more accustomed to city life, is there a chance that maybe there are just big birds from surrounding areas, and that's what they're seeing, and they're more familiar with Mothman than they are with, I don't know, let's say avian variety, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe that's a dumb point. I don't know. I just think
Who knows,
it's
man?
a good question.
All I know is that there were similar sightings in Point Pleasant and in Chernobyl. Okay?
Yeah, which is definitely...
So that's the crux of this, and that's fucking spooky.
It's definitely strange because, it's kind of hard to... It's impossible to refute eyewitness testimony, okay? I know it might not necessarily hold up in court.
It's
you
just
don't
as
have to believe
impossible
it.
as confirming it, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to believe it, but the truth is, if somebody makes these statements, you have to take their word for it a little bit. Because you can't just denounce anything that you don't believe in. So, Chernobyl and Point Pleasant, they both have very similar sightings. And then catastrophe strikes the town.
And then no sightings.
Arguably, Chernobyl was a lot larger of a catastrophe on a scale. But,
yeah.
I mean, that taught us a history.
Well, I mean, when it came to like immediate death count, technically the bridge is,
they're
is a little worse.
6
but
in one, half dozen in the other. So.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, the Mothman doesn't think longevity.
No, he does not.
It's been around for trillions of years.
But yeah, so I think that it's really interesting that I don't hear much about this. To be honest with you, didn't know it existed until we were
Me
researching.
either. I didn't know it was like, oh my god, a possible Mothman in Russia.
Yeah, that's
like, what the fuck?
And I'm surprised that this isn't brought up a little bit more, especially by people interested in the Mothman. And because I know there's people out there, for as many Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster hunters there
have to be some Mothmanites.
Oh, there are plenty of true Mothman hunters.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like it's interesting that this story doesn't get brought up. But it's getting a little off topic here, but I do. I found this page on. Well, there's one on Reddit. I'm assuming there's going to be one on Facebook and Twitter, and it's for like Bigfoot believers. Okay,
yeah.
So I was just kind of looking through it, just kind of scrolling,
just perusing,
and there really are like a lot of pretty credible stories that have pictures or video and like actual documentation by what you would imagine are upstanding people.
Yeah, not like that story we told where the guy like hands Bigfoot Doritos and he just eats them and leaves. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, I do remember
It's like,
that.
I saw Bigfoot and I gave him Doritos.
But like, there's a lot of these stories that I would say are very credible, and they just don't get the attention because I think it's hard to crack into that world. The same way it is with extraterrestrials. There's so many unknowns that it's hard to break into that.
And it's been stigmatized to be like the products of like crackpots.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
And so
because we like that.
So my thing is, there's got to be other relatives to the Mothman, if it's not him specifically, or her, I guess. I don't know if it's a female.
Moth being.
But, like, there has to definitely be some type of correlation, because this is 2 now. We're getting past the point of coincidence, okay? Like, we're one more, and this is a full-blown conspiracy.
2's a pattern. 3, that's a fucking fact.
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, it is fucking weird. It is very interesting.
No, it is. That's definitely one of my favorite Chernobyl stories. It's not the creepiest, but it's definitely fun.
Yeah, dude.
And enticing. I hear the door opening.
It's Mitchell.
It's Mitch.
Dude, the past like 3 episodes, Mothman has been brought up. Mothman is so prevalent lately.
You know what? I want to say this on the air. Mothman is one episode that I would love to do a revisit on, because there's so much shit that comes out. I feel the same way kind of about Bigfoot too, because it's like that was
our early years too. Like we need to do like a hard reset on that.
As time goes on, there's more and more that comes out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we talked about Shaq's dick for a good portion of it, so.
We had fun back then.
We might need to revisit.
But yeah, I do think that I have. I'm not going to say it on the air, but I have 2 what I deem to believe be really badass episodes that I'm going to talk to Jake about, and we'll put them on the docket soon or maybe later. Who knows? We'll figure it out.
Who knows? It'll happen.
But yeah, maybe we'll have to revisit Mothman, especially after this, because it kind of rekindled my love for the Mothman.
Yeah.
This whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
All right,
I agree.
We can move on.
Yeah, you want to get back into like Chernobyl-specific things?
Yes, absolutely. We can do that.
I don't think we talked about the elephant's foot.
No, we did not.
Last time. So what's the elephant's foot? It's a hilarious name, right? It's a large mass of black corium that melted through the base of Chernobyl's reactor number 4.
Number 4?
Yeah, it was just...
Number 4?
Number
4?
I can't tell if it's a reference to a song or to Kids Next Door. Codenames Kids Next Door.
It was definitely
remember
the
that?
song. I don't remember.
You remember that show? Damn.
I remember that show, but I don't remember that specifically. But that
Number
was
4.
Yeah, that was in reference to the Beatles.
Very nice.
Their darker days.
But no, okay, so it was black corium that was it was melted through the base of Chernobyl's reactor number 4. It was like lava, all right? It was composed of mostly silicon dioxide with traces of uranium, titanium, zirconium, magnesium, zircon, and graphite. A lot of stuff in there.
And adamantium.
Adamantium.
Wolverine was in there.
he was always there. But it was all evenly homogenized and evenly radioactive throughout. So it was just a big mass of bad shit.
It was like a perfectly baked radioactive cake.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just
And
perfectly, everything.
Just perfectly formed.
That's a good pizza pie.
A good radioactive travesty.
That's a good radioactive foot of elephant.
The elephant's foot was formed after melting through 6.5 feet of fissures and pipes in just solid concrete.
I love the word fissures. I don't know why, because it doesn't seem medical. Like a word.
It sounds like you're trying to say something else.
You're like, are you trying to say fusion? They're like, no, fission. It's like
I don't understand what you're saying.
No, you're putting the I in the wrong spot, dummy.
It's like, no, who's dumb? Whenever anyone says fissions, it's everybody.
You're just being a stupid poo-poo head.
Yeah. So it melted through some fissures.
Fissures.
Many people were worried upon the discovery of this thing because they discovered the elephant's foot months after it happened, the initial disaster. A lot of people were worried that it was possibly still melting through to the bedrock underneath the plant, mixing with groundwater and rendering the area's water supply pretty bad, poison, lethal.
I mean, I could definitely believe that.
It's a very reasonable concern, but luckily it didn't. That didn't happen. It just kind of stopped in the basement.
Well, that's good. It is funny because the more you learn about Chernobyl, the more things just kind of worked out. And if they didn't work out, we don't really have backup plans for a lot of things.
Yeah, if that thing got into the water, you want to know how fucking toxic this thing is?
Yeah.
It's said to be one of the most radioactive and dangerous things to come from the disaster. It was all right. This is going to be a list of times that you are just around within 3 feet of it with no protection. All right.
Okay.
If you're within 3 feet of it for 30 seconds exposed,
you'll die.
Well, yeah, all right, we're getting there. But
I just love that.
Dizziness and fatigue will set in weeks later.
Ooh.
Okay, at 30 seconds exposed to this thing. 2 minutes exposed, your cells will begin to hemorrhage.
Oh.
Yeah, all right, so 4 minutes exposed, immediate vomiting and diarrhea. Immediate expelling of everything and a high fever.
Which order does that come in? Because that's a really important order.
I always pictured it all happening at the same time. You get feverish and you shoot.
I will say
from all holes.
There's no right or wrong answer. It's all up to personal preference. I want to go diarrhea first. That's just me because I want to get that out of the way.
So you want to sit down, diarrhea, really quick, get up, turn around, puke.
Well, not turn around. No, I'm gonna have to puke somewhere else because I don't know. I've had cases where I've had extremely bad diarrhea. This is very TMI, so you're gonna get some information out of me here.
Who out there hasn't had diarrhea?
Where I don't know about you guys, but it smells so bad, and it's coming out of my own body, and for some reason that makes it worse, and it makes me want to throw up. So I fear that if I vomit and get rid of the vomit and then have diarrhea, I'm going to want to vomit again.
Damn, dude, you shit so gross you want to puke.
Yeah, I've done that before.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's never actually happened, but it's like where it's real close. It's like, I gotta get out of here.
All right, so we went.
Febreze.
We went for 4 minutes. The last thing I said, that's when you get immediate vomiting, diarrhea, and high fever. But 200 seconds, which I realize is a little bit less than that.
It's 5 minutes.
200 seconds exposed. No, it's not. 200
seconds?
200 seconds.
Yeah.
60 seconds is in a minute.
So
that's like 3 and some change.
Oh, wait, yeah, no, I had the wrong...
What the hell are you doing?
I had the wrong math on that one. I went too hard.
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
Fucking Jesus. But no, 200 seconds exposed, you have mere days to live. Basically, you're going to die. Like you said.
I mean, yeah,
you're going to die.
You're not good, I'll tell you that.
You're not good. But although it's still true today, it's still the most dangerous shit to come of it. it becomes less and less lethal every day. All right,
but by how much? When you
not
say
enough
that,
to where you can like sleep with it and like spoon it. You shouldn't do that.
they're like, if you're exposed to it for 30 seconds, you're gonna die. If you're exposed to it for 29.99999 or repeating, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, you're gonna be just fine.
But you gotta get out of there right in that nick of time.
Yeah, but it when it first appeared, when they first discovered it, it looked like black and smooth and like shiny and shit. It kind of looked like black glass sort of thing.
Cool.
And now it has the consistency of sand.
Why don't we just pick it up and put it over here?
Just dump it in the lake.
If there's anything we should shoot into space, it should be that.
Why not?
I mean,
what if something goes wrong though?
What could possibly
it
go wrong?
blows up in the atmosphere and just showers over
What could
everything?
No,
everything, Grant.
But we wouldn't be exposed to it. We wouldn't be that close to it, Even if it blows up.
It doesn't matter. The rain is going to be lethal.
Jake, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's just fine.
Regular rain can be lethal, too, if you don't know how to swim.
No, it is true.
So
you know what? Everything's dangerous.
I say we just blow it up. Let's just get rid of it. Like a whale stuck on the beach. Let's just stick some dynamite in it.
That footage is nuts.
Blow it up. Let's just get rid of it.
What was that, in the 60s? They just blew up a whale?
Yeah, they're just like, we can't move
it. This is the logical next step.
Wouldn't it be easier just to get a chainsaw and cut parts of it off?
No, too easy.
No, we need to make this violently disturbing for everyone.
We're not
involved.
butchers, okay? We're
pyros.
We're
pyros, dude. We just want to burn this fucking thing.
Yeah, we're the boom people.
Can we just I did read a thing. This is super off topic. The state of Maine is currently in talks to legalize Viking funerals.
Damn. I might be moving to Maine. Then.
Yeah, they're in talks. Nothing is set in stone yet, but they're thinking of making it not a violation if you wanted to. Now,
that's cool.
Now,
I mean, if it's in your will, it's like your wishes. Like, why would you know?
Now, from what I read, there's very specific things you have to follow, like as far as what you put them on, how you burn it, and where you put them. But it's looking like it might not be entirely illegal forever.
Well, that's just fantastic.
Yeah. Very side note, but
news.
We said the word pyro, and I went to that.
No,
so
it makes sense.
I just wanted to share the good news with the followers,
Yeah.
If we have any listeners in Maine, definitely keep us updated, because I want to know about this Viking funeral thing.
Yeah. And tell us if you want one.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. We'll come do it. I'm an ordained minister, so I can do that.
And I can shoot a flaming arrow, I think. I'll try it for you.
Hey, we can try. We can make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do weddings and funerals, so...
Those are my specialty.
If you need me to do any weird funerals/weddings, we're good. I'm ready. I got all my paperwork in order, so
there you go. He has cards. It's great. But you want to talk about this fucking hotel? There's a hotel in Chernobyl you could stay at. Did you know that?
Yes, indeed, there is.
Yeah, there's a fucking single hotel in the exclusion zone of the Chernobyl site. It's the only place that tourists are permitted to stay when visiting.
Only come here.
You can only come in here.
Now, right? I mean, okay, if you're into science, let's say, maybe you're into studying the effects of radioactivity or things of that nature.
Picture this. You're a fucking dork.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, in a roundabout way. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just that's what it is.
I mean, we have this show. What are you talking about?
Besides them, and just really strange people, who the hell wants to just go hang out in Chernobyl? I would love...
Hey, man, a lot of people.
I would absolutely love
to
go to Russia. I would love to see Lake Baikal. I would love to go to...
Play with the NERPA.
In Moscow, where they have those weird shaped churches. They're super colorful.
Yeah.
Like St. Petersburg. I'd love to go there. That'd be cool. But I don't want to go to Chernobyl. You don't want to go
where it's dangerous and people died and stuff? No.
I don't.
Weird.
No. That's you want to go to Australia? This hotel's in the Great Barrier Reef, and just keep these salamis in your pockets, and everything's fine.
You want to stay at this hotel? It's been on fire for 30 years.
Yeah, it's fine.
One of those. Well, dude, it has all the amenities. Apparently, each guest is provided an iron-starched linen stamped with the Chernobyl Special Industrial Complex. So that's fun. It is also required that each guest removes their shoes before entering the
As
hotel.
is custom in Japan.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
That's what we're talking about.
They know a thing or two about radiation because they've seen a thing or two about radiation.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I love that commercial.
There you go.
But, yeah. So, that's to, like, not, further contaminate by tracking in dirt. That's radiation.
Oh, yeah, because that's where the problem starts.
We're in Chernobyl.
God forbid. What would they do with me? They're taking
It's
shoes
like,
off.
we need a whole new set of tires for you.
Getting the snowmobile.
You'd be deloused.
You know.
You'd be fucking taken care of, kid.
Yeah, so that's why I don't want to go there.
Yeah. Yeah, the employees of the hotel have a strict schedule of 15 days on, 15 days off to limit radiation exposure, apparently. And
yeah, that's my dream job.
Yeah, exactly.
Love to fucking work there.
I work half the year. But, and here's the kicker, they have Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So isn't that good?
So Wi-Fi still works in radiation. That's good to know. I
guess, yeah.
So that we do know that if there's
anything,
ever...
it might make it stronger, I'd say.
If there's ever a time where we need to worry about nuclear fallout, the internet should be able to operate all systems normal. Now, as far as the actual way you log onto that internet, I'm not sure that would survive.
Yeah, who knows?
But
I mean, the keyboard might be a little melted.
The Wi-Fi itself will work, so cat pictures will never disappear, even in the afterlife.
Isn't that just nice to think about? But yeah, lots of fucking people are going to Chernobyl. About 10,000 people every year.
Isn't
that nuts?
That's a pretty hefty number. I mean,
you got to get like permission from the government and like to partake in the tours, but there's like strict rules that you have to follow to a T, or else you're going to be irradiated. You're going to be getting sick.
See, that's not fun.
Yeah, well, some people like danger, Grant.
Yeah, that's like adrenaline junkie to like the next level.
It's just like I can't see it, and the effects will be very long term.
I'm just going to start tasting copper, and I'm going to die in a month.
Apparently, upon leaving the site, tourists are put through radiation screenings, and if their levels are too high, an individual's personal belongings and clothes are either thoroughly washed or confiscated and left behind.
Ooh, okay.
So people might leave there nude, who knows. Also, a tour guide, despite all this and all the danger and shit, people seem to be rather mystified by it, which is what we were just talking about, why. But a tour guide apparently has confirmed that 2 people got engaged during one of his tours.
Okay.
Isn't that fun?
That's
edgelord to the max. That's like almost respectable.
That is. See, I'll tell you this. When I talk about people being strange or weird, I'm in no way saying that's bad, because those people are a lot cooler than other people that aren't weird.
Takes all kinds,
But it's just that's not it for me. That does not do it for me.
No, I wouldn't say.
Vacation is supposed to be stress-free and enjoyable.
Yeah.
Not constantly on the edge of my seat like, am I too close? Am I going to die?
Am I going to die in like 3 weeks? But, all right, here, let's do this. Some things, this is a good characterization of the type of people that go on these tours, all right? Some things that are specifically mentioned not to do. Okay, licking trees. That's first on the list.
Well, you know that...
They specifically tell you, do not lick the trees.
Before you continue on with this list, I think it's safe to mention that in order for these to make it onto the list, somebody had to do this.
They have to do it, yes. Yeah.
They had to witness somebody doing something, and they're like, you know what? We should make a rule against that, because no one should do that again. They specifically
mentioned it because dumb fucks have actually done it in the past. Right? It's licking trees, eating berries, and simply rolling in the dirt.
Yeah.
Rolling in the dirt.
Like a pig. Like literally, not even in the mean way, just literally like a pig.
Just like, oh, I'm in Chernobyl.
Oh, this dirt.
It's so stupid. Dude, tour guides actually warn against the actions of one specific person on the internet who has the username BioNerd23.
Yeah, he's been there.
She
Oh,
frequently
my bad.
posts videos of herself eating apples grown in Chernobyl.
Why?
I don't know, but every
Why?
tour guide specifically says, don't be like BioNerd23.
BioNerd23.
Don't do that.
Guys, this is huge for us. I want you... We were talking about Shaq. This is arguably more important. You need to reach out to BioNerd23, and we need to find her, and I want to talk to her. I want to know how these apples taste. I want to know why she's eating these apples. I want to know if I can get some of these apples. I want to know what's happening. I want to know it all.
Dude, speaking of these fucking apples, I sent you a little news story, a little article recently.
Yeah, that was great.
Dude.
And it's funny because you sent me that, and then this morning, while I was scrolling through my phone, I was on it wasn't like the New York Times. I was just like looking through shit.
Yeah.
And an article came up about it, and I was like, how funny. I never would have paid attention to this.
Dude, all right, so apparently some UK scientists, they were growing apple trees in Chernobyl. And their whole goal was to make, like, non-toxic things grown in that soil. And what do you know? They fucking did it. They did it. And they made 1,500 bottles of vodka with these apples.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's not particularly my thing, but...
You don't like apple vodka that's radiated?
I don't like vodka in general. Vodka makes me sad.
Well, you're in Russia now, so you kind of have to.
Vodka is sad alcohol. I've never seen anyone have a great time wasted on vodka. They either get really emotional or really angry.
But either way, they're all very warm in the face.
Vodka is that's a no-go for me.
Yeah. But so Ukrainian government officials actually seized all the bottles of liquor because they're just like they apparently claim that there was something wrong with like the packaging, like it went against code or something. But I think
somebody has an
there
issue
may
with it.
be some sort of other issue that might be the reason why they took it. But now the UK scientists are fighting to try to get it back because they just took it. They're just like, no, you can't send this anywhere. And they didn't give it back, and that's kind of rude.
I guess over here for us, it's kind of like the FDA. It's like even if you're doing everything right, if they don't have their stamp on it, it ain't going nowhere.
No, that's true. That's why the hot sauce dream of ours was thwarted pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was. It would have been fun, but that's so much work.
It's just another thing. Let's just keep doing this.
Like, we're a podcast. I already spend enough of my time reading things that have no value outside of this show.
And I'm going to be over here perfecting recipes?
Yeah,
No.
I did notice, like, this show has made conversation a lot harder because...
Why? What do you mean?
Because, like, I'll be talking to somebody I don't know particularly, or someone I just met, and we'll be talking, just chatting, and like there's just things that I want to bring up, like that reminds me of this, but then I'm like, this person probably doesn't care about Mothman. Why? I'm not going to sit here and explain it to him. So why? And then I'm like, oh, what do I talk about now? Where do I go from here?
I've found myself in the midst of talking about things that I realize people just are not down to talk about.
Yeah,
I think I've told the story of when I just like talked about Michael Jackson raping kids for like 20 minutes at a wedding.
Yeah, they're just like, I love Michael Jackson.
There was a moment when I like had the control of the table, like everyone was looking at me just talking about Michael Jackson. I was like, I shouldn't be doing this. This is not the place. But I'm pretty sure I mentioned that before. Who cares?
Congrats! Michael Jackson likes children's buttholes. Congratulations.
You heard it here at the wedding.
Congratulations again.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little tourism in the hotel, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
What else we got? You want to get into some spooky shit? We got a fucking ghost story.
That we do. Yeah, I have. They're not ghost stories that I have, but they're just sad, scary.
Yeah. So
we're coming.
Before we get into those, though, there are some animal deformities.
Oh yeah, obviously we got to talk about these.
We got to talk about those. Though the animal population in Chernobyl now is pretty much like okay, like they're actually like a lot of wildlife is coming back now that a lot of people aren't there.
Yeah, was it the brown bear or the black bear?
There's bears.
Of the bears,
there's moose, there's wolves, there's like deer and shit. They're all coming.
One of the bears, brown or black, was completely out of the area, and since the disaster, they have come back.
Yeah.
So that's progress.
Nature is returning.
They're eating radiated soil, but that's progress.
That's true, but we'll figure that out when we have to come to it. But so yeah, everything's pretty cool there for them right now. There's no like immediate effects from living there, but immediately after the initial, disaster, there was some pretty horrifying mutations. One specific photograph that I will put up on the Instagram, it's a piglet that was born with Dipygus. It's Dipygus.
Dipygus.
Which is a mutation where the body acts as forks left and right, parting ways halfway through the torso, and the pelvis and legs are duplicated. So it's just multiple-legged.
Yeah.
Piglet.
Yeah, I saw.
Let me show you this thing, dude. It looks like a goddamn spider.
I was gonna say I haven't seen the pig. I saw a couple pictures of cows that had really, really messed up faces. I mean, I'm talking like
they don't look the best.
No, they look gross. Now, with that being said, most of these animals do not live very long, but there's some outliers. There's ones that are stronger than others, and they kind of fight through it, and they look really weird.
They look a bit creepy.
Yeah, you can.
Here, wait a minute. I gotta find this.
You can actually see these if you decide to go on vacation to Chernobyl. They have a museum there, and they have the remains and taxidermied remains of some of the mutated animals that were not so lucky to survive. A lot of them are born small, extra appendages, weird faces, horrible lesions. It's gross. There is one, I'll talk about it in a little bit. There's cows that actually give off radiated milk. And
that's kind of fun.
That picture of that pig looks like calamari.
Doesn't it look like the love child of Charlotte and the web?
Yeah, a little bit. It looks,
or Charlotte and, what is it, Babe? Babe the pig?
Yeah, Charlotte's the spider, I think, right?
This monstrosity is that book incarnate.
Yeah, it looks like uncooked, unbreaded calamari.
Kind of looks like a puppy that was hit by a car.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll put it up on Instagram. You'll all see it.
And speaking of puppies, the Dogs of Chernobyl, if you're into dogs and stuff, it's a very interesting documentary they have out. And it's really about how all the domesticated dogs that were left behind as, the insanity ensued, they populated with each other and the local wolf population, and the offspring were extremely weird radiated monster dogs.
It sounds badass.
And it wasn't like
crazy because I know they had a lot of soldiers go through and actually kill most of the pets.
Oh yeah,
they were just like, we can't have these things fucking running around.
But it's wild. But
it is wild.
And I don't want you to think these are like Resident Evil dogs that can break into your house.
Literal hellhounds,
these things probably literally cannot move, and the minute they're born are dead because. One parent is a wolf and the other one's a radiated chihuahua. So
that doesn't augur well.
No, it does not.
But
reproduction is it's a basket case over there in Chernobyl.
Yeah. But most of that was just from initial things. Now everything seems to be fine. Aside from some of the birds have smaller than average brains, but they bird brain.
Birds.
I was gonna say bird brains is an insult, so.
Hey, bird brain.
It just kind of makes sense. Also, rodents aren't producing as large a litters as they usually do.
That's a win.
And you know what? They're dying younger.
Why are we acting like that's not a win?
Yeah. So both those things are pretty cool. And some plants exhibited dwarfism, some exhibited gigantism, and other ones took on an unnatural bioluminescence.
That's cool.
So that just sounds like fun.
No, that's pretty cool.
Right?
Glowing plants. I like that.
Yeah. But, all right, let's get into some spooky shit.
Oh, yeah, this is the bread and butter right here. This is the fucking softball. Did you guys ever see, what was that movie? Rookie of the Year, that old baseball movie?
I think so.
Where he throws the pitch to that guy, and he's just, licking his legs. He's like, he's just looking at the ball as it comes in, that's how I feel about
That's how you feel about
stories.
This story?
I'm just licking my lips.
Oh, God. All right, we're going to talk about the ghost in the sarcophagus. All right?
Sarcophagi. Monsterino.
Pegasus. That's not it. Sarcophagus. All right. In 1997.
No, I'm scared already.
Got Y2K coming up. But anyway, so in 1997, nuclear physicist from New York, Andrei Korsakov, maybe.
That's
Let's
a
say
good guess.
Korsakov. He visited the power station of the number 4 reactor Sarcophagus. It was around 7:30 in the morning on that particular day, and Korsakov wanted to document the radiation levels of the location. However, he could not go inside, right? Because, radiation.
Okay, yeah.
So, the door was open, and he began taking the levels of the equipment when he heard, fucking clear as day, an individual screaming for help from a fire.
Gah!
It's burning me!
Help me.
It hurts. Anyway, so he heard this, and he ran out to alert the people in charge of the operation, But when he did, he was informed that when he entered the control room, he was the first person to open that door in 3 years.
So you mean that guy that was on fire was in there for 3 years?
That sounds awful. That is hell.
No wonder he was screaming for help.
Damn right, dude. Not only that, but the door that he opened was the only way into the area. And if someone were to sneak behind him and, go in after him, they would have set off an automatic alarm. Not to mention the door can only be opened with a proper password and handprint.
Oh.
So that's fucking spooky.
Yeah, that's
You're
a
just
little
hearing
scary.
people talking about being burned, all these things. Later that night, while having dinner outside of the building in view of the plant, Korsakov and some colleagues witnessed a floodlight turn on inside the aforementioned control room.
Ooh.
They saw it. They saw it happen. And just as the group came to the conclusion that there was probably some sort of power surge that caused it, the light flickered out.
Oh, scary.
So it's not a crazy long story, but that is very spooky.
No, that is.
I don't want to hear anyone calling for help
No.
when they're in a fire.
Especially if they're not living.
Yeah, that would probably be
I'd be mortified if they were alive and screaming for help. But
the air
fact that
leaving
they're
their
not,
dead lungs. That sucks.
yeah, the fact that they're not alive is just somehow even more upsetting to me.
But yeah, Korsakov had to hear that shit. And
Good
that's
for him.
terrifying.
Yeah, not a fan.
So that's the ghost in the sarcophagus.
I like that. But yeah, I have here for us, and we're gonna rapid fire. There's a lot of weird little tidbits of facts that you're not gonna know about, and I like that. So this
All
is
right,
things for us.
Just info.
These are things. Are you guys ready? You ready?
Are these things?
These things.
Wait, these are things?
These
Okay.
ready things.
All right.
So we all are familiar. If you're familiar with Chernobyl, you know the image of the Ferris wheel. Am I correct in making that statement?
Me, just because I've been researching it like crazy for 2 weeks. I didn't know about that before this.
Oh, really? Yeah, see, that's always the image I have just because whenever I've seen any video about it, it's always that. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's like
the B-roll.
abandoned theme park, never opened.
Well, the story about that, it's very simple, but it's spooky in itself. The Pripyat amusement park was supposed to open on May 1st of 1986, but 5 days before that, the plant...
Chernobyl happened.
Yeah, so it never opened.
It didn't happen, probably.
No, it never opened. But on April 27th of 1986, for all the people that were still stuck in Pripyat and reeling with all the terrible nonsense that had just occurred, they turned the Ferris wheel on for them, and they got to go on it.
Thanks.
So they got to relax.
In no way is that just like spreading fucking radiation dust everywhere.
So the one time that the Ferris wheel was operated was April 27th of 1986, and it was never operated again, and it still stands there to this day as just nothing. It's an abandoned amusement park.
If logic carries, it still works.
Yeah.
We should try it. You want to go there?
No, I don't.
Damn it, yeah, we talked about that.
Also during this time, for you pro-lifers out there, plug your ears because this one's going to be rough to listen to. 100,000 to 200,000 babies were aborted in the area immediately after Chernobyl.
Probably good, right? That's probably a good thing.
We refer to it now as radiophobia. You're not afraid of the radio; you're afraid of radioactivity. And it is extremely prevalent in areas where something like this has just happened. So doctors were recommending pregnant women get abortions so that not only do their kids not have the horrible deformities, that the mothers don't suffer any complications because of that. Later, now we understand that the World Health Organization has decided that the radiation levels were never actually high enough to affect unborn children in the area. So it was slightly unnecessary, but the exact number is not known, but it's less than 200,000 and more than 100,000 abortions took place.
Honestly, we have too many people as it is.
Yeah. But yeah, so that happened. How about that?
How about that? Jesus.
But yeah.
Sort of sad.
So we got that. Then this one's kind of fun. I like these. I like these rapid fire because they're just facts for you to listen to.
Thousands of abortions. We need something else.
Within a couple of years, in the early 90s, somebody or a group of somebodies had snuck into the abandoned area of Pripyat.
Yeah, I heard there's like a population of like young teenage boys who kind of romanticize it.
Yeah, and what they did is they spray painted shadow figures on all of the destroyed buildings.
Ooh, what does that remind you of?
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
But yeah, so they did that. That's just kind of a fun little thing, you know.
Is that was the fun part?
Yeah, you know, it's fun.
It's just like this other humanity fucking disaster.
Yeah. Now this is interesting because I'm not particularly sure how this works. But we talked about the vegetation and how it never really wavered. Like, it had its issues, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, like, the right amount of radiation will kill, like, plants, but they can take a lot of radiation without dying.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And like I said, some of them were glowing, some of them were growing, some of them were shrinking.
And I find it interesting because in Pripyat, most of the physical things, infrastructure, artifacts, vehicles, they're all deteriorated. Like, by the year 2012, pretty much everything is just abandoned. It's rubble. It's just falling apart. But the vegetation never suffered from that. So you get this weird juxtaposition of very bright green plants.
Life
and just
finds a way.
Abandoned buildings, just decimated. There was actually a oil painting of Vladimir Lenin in Pripyat that has now disintegrated and it is gone.
Isn't that just poetic?
Yeah, so it is gone, and everything is engulfed in vegetation. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
Beautiful. Nice.
Now this opens the door to some theories, because this next one, they blame it on tourists, but I don't particularly buy that.
Well, based on the things that they warn against, I don't think the tourists are the brightest.
So,
or most well-meaning people.
Tourists and or just weird random individuals have been, since 1986, have been going to the buildings, and they've been placing dolls in windowsills and laying them on beds.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I don't know. They want to blame the tourists, but I don't necessarily think that's true.
I saw something on this too, and a lot of the dolls, like, they actually show them. Like, a lot of them look very new. Like, just very new-looking dolls that they kind of place in very particular order. Some of them have, like, masks on and shit. It's very fun, very spooky.
That's true. Now, it's funny because we keep saying this exclusion zone, but I don't think we're really grasping what that is. So the exclusion zone, it's illegal to live here. It is against the law. Like, you will go to prison if you are caught living here. Because it's dangerous. It's radiation. Yeah. It's dangerous. In come Chernobyl's babushkas.
Hell yeah,
dude. The group of elderly women in their 70s and 80s that have decided, you know what, fuck you, we're moving back. This is where we're from. We're living here, damn it.
Dude, some of them moved back, like, so early after it happened.
Oh, yeah, they started moving in the 90s.
Yeah, dude, there's like 180 people that live there.
Oh, yeah. And they're still there to this day, some of them. It's just part of their life. They live in higher radiation. They say that they're used to it. There's really no particular adverse side effects. I know it's hard to say things like that in the world today because it's like, well, you know that's not good for you. It's like, yeah, it's not,
Nothing's good for you. I got sunburn the other day, you know what I mean?
For these particular grandmothers, they're around, adapting well to it.
Yeah, they're around to tell you that It's not really doing much.
Yeah, like they're absolutely fine. There's no problem.
In no way are we advocating living there, but they seem fine. But also, I mean, like the Ukrainian, it is illegal, but the Ukrainian government kind of just gave up, and they're just like ultimately like, yeah, just let them go live and die there in peace. Like, why not? Because a lot of the people like returned because it's like their heritage. Like,
it's like I'm gonna
my
die
family's
here
lived
anyway.
here forever. I'm not just gonna leave, you know. So
yeah,
that's cool.
I in a way I get that. I'm not particularly a fan, but I do get that.
Yeah, there was a documentary made about the babushkas, I think.
Yeah, the babushka ladies or the Chernobyl's babushka. So okay, they have noticed that certain cows, their milk contains cesium-137, which is a radioactive isotope, and
That's fun.
we're not particularly sure how it's not affecting the cow, but it is in their milk, so we don't quite get that.
Well, does they have little calves that drink the milk and are affected? Maybe.
Maybe, yeah, that could be
Who
it.
knows? Or maybe they're just like keeping the cows away.
I got two quick little ones here. Birds and rodents have been coming down with tumors and eye cataracts since 1987. And
That's why their brains are smaller.
That's very strange for birds and rodents to get tumors. Just saying.
They're not a tumor animal.
Then my personal favorite. This is a very uplifting fact for you.
Last time you said something was good, it didn't.
Scientists released an endangered horse species into the Pripyat area. That is called the Przewalski horses.
Damn, that's a good name. Przewalski?
It's Przewalski. Przewalski.
I love it no matter
Something
how
like
you
that.
pronounce it. That's great.
The Przewalski horse.
Persona?
In 1998, they released them because there was only so many of them left, and they needed them to not be around people. So they were just like, well, this is one of the only places we can put them.
Let's give them to the radiation.
And they survived. They are.
Are they frolicking?
Yes.
They thriving?
They are wild horses. They are still alive. Their numbers are growing.
Wow.
It is a true comeback story for the Przewalski horse.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, so and if you couldn't tell,
Wild horses.
Chernobyl's a weird fucking place.
It's got a lot of aspects.
Yeah, it does.
A lot of funny things going on there. Now, the initial thing wasn't very funny. But
it is.
Kind of was. Yeah, everything kind of has to be funny, doesn't it?
But see, I don't have an issue with it because it's like I know it's not laugh out loud funny, but you gotta laugh at it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do anything.
It's over.
It happened. Yeah.
We have to accept that Chernobyl was a disaster. It probably won't, at least to that capacity, won't happen again just because we've learned to never do that.
Yeah, I through researching still this week, I found out that they still have the same kind of reactors in Russia. They just retrofitted them to be way safer.
Yeah, but that's good.
That's good.
I'll accept that. I'll accept that. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else you have to add to this, Mr. Jake?
No, I was just going to throw in the thing about the babushkas at the end there, but you covered that. So
nice.
That's Chernobyl.
Yeah, that
radiation in Russia.
That's
Ukraine
a wonderful
now.
series on Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
It's fun. I enjoy doing this because it's kind of off topic for us. It's not something we would typically do.
Dude, this podcast for me is like school that I like.
Yeah,
we
a little
just
bit.
like what should we learn about? Let's do this.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And you know what? We hope you guys learn stuff too.
Yeah, and if you don't, I hope you have fun with us because we try to have fun with you.
Yeah,
so.
Or maybe we're just background noise for your work, and you don't listen, but we make it easier.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Whatever,
That's fine.
whatever your situation is.
But
how's it going?
With all that being said, that is effectively our episode for the week.
Yeah, because we are starting a cult. That's Grant Up Jake. And you can follow us on all the shit.
Yes,
we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Again, Twitter is not very active. Maybe you interact with it. Maybe we'll get it more active.
Yeah.
But right now, mainly the thing is Instagram. But we're also on YouTube. We're on fucking
Patreon.
We're on Patreon. There's a link below. We're on all these things.
We're all over the webs.
Yeah, we got a new Patreon episode coming at you this Tuesday.
Yes, we do.
It's going to be super sick and fucking amazing. You're going to not want to miss it. So there's a link below, but we are starting a cult. That was pretty much the spiel at the end that I give, right?
Yeah, that was the Jake spiel.
And that was Chernobyl.
Chernobyl. We appreciate you guys listening. We love you, and we will talk to you guys again in a week's worth of time.
Yeah, it's going to be Friday, but also Patreon episode on Tuesday.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Goodbye.
We're going to have one of those.
We love you.
Bye.